James said, as James said, my name is Anthony Albazi. I'm the director at Chase Director of Sales at Chase Products here. And we have Kevin Brandish, who's our national sales manager for our institutional industrial division. To give you all a quick background on ourselves, Kevin and I have both been with Chase for about 17, 18 years now. We're very familiar with the Jansan industry, as that was really our start in sales. And we've had a successful tenure here of growing our division and starting to make a larger footprint for Chase out in the Jansan market. So we're excited and happy to have the opportunity to join Triple S and kind of service or fill some voids in your aerosol needs. I want to give a quick background and history on Chase for those of you who don't know. We're a 97-year-old aerosol manufacturer in Broadview, Illinois. We are about 20 minutes outside Chicago, so fairly close to both airports, Midway and O'Hare. And as I mentioned, we're 97 years old, and Chase's start really was we were the first manufacturer of aerosol products, period, in the history of this technology. And the first aerosol was actually a insecticide. It was more like a fogger, as we call it now. It looked like a bomb then, looked like a grenade, but it was introduced we received, our first generation owner received a government contract to fill these of total release mosquito repellents and insecticide foggers for troops overseas that were making bases and would help with any type of contamination of mosquitoes and bugs in their area. So that was really the first aerosol ever invented, was truly a total release insect fogger. But from then on, once the technology got a little bit more advanced, we had many firsts in the aerosol industry, including the first to formulate and manufacture hairspray, shave cream, spray starch. We also specialize in batching and filling spray paint, which is something that kind of has always set us apart from your standard Jansan aerosol manufacturers. We're able to do EPA items like disinfectants and cleaners and household care, and then we also can batch and manufacture spray paint, which is also very successful. And there would be like your basic enamel type products and industrial municipality inverted marking paints or field marking paints and pavement marking paints. So we are unique in the aerosol industry for that breadth of what we're able to handle and do. For the most part, at our facility, we're able to manufacture any type of aerosol product with the exception of food grade products. So we don't make any cheese in a can. We don't make any sun care. We don't make any drug items like topicals or liquid Band-Aids or athlete's foot sprays. But anything that is EPA registered, that's probably our bread and butter. We're very strong in the household category. But one thing I wanted to also kind of touch on is give everyone kind of an idea of the different industries that we do play in outside of just institutional industrial Jansan. We also have a retail private label division. So we're a manufacturer of a lot of retail household products that you'd see on the shelf at, Walmart, Dollar General, Family Dollar, CVS, Walgreens, HEB. Pretty much any and every grocer and retailer we're doing some type of private labeling for. So they have a national brand equivalent on shelf comparing of their own brand comparing to the brand. So a lot of disinfectant is in our categories, furniture polish, oven cleaners. So that's our second main division at Chase outside of Jansan. Then we have our seasonal division, which is spray snow, basically snow in a can at Christmas time to decorate windows and flock your trees. That's also in every major retailer and grocer in the country. around the holiday time. So that's been a staple brand of ours for a long time. Actually, it's called Santa Spray Snow. Then, as I mentioned and touched on, we do have a full paint division where we do our own brands, and then we also will be a contract filler or help out big brand names should they need help if they have too much capacity or they need some help with certain heavier months, times of the year. We're able to turn it on and, run them a few million cans or a couple 100,000 cans, whatever their need is, to get them out of a bind. So we have good relationships with a lot of major marketers in that paint and coatings industry. And then finally, to touch on our last division is our Chase brand retail products. So we also have a line called Chase's Home Value and Chase's Clean Home. And these lines are more value formulations, cheaper items that can retail for $1.50 to $2 at either independent wholesalers who are supplying independent dollar store chains or a lot of major retailers through the how the economy is now has grown in adding a value section. So we also can service those growing needs in the marketplace right now through our Chase's Home Value line. But to get back to our main core business of institutional industrial, our brand Champion Spray-On has been Champion Spray-On and Spray Pack and Prozol. Those three major brands have been a staple of ours in the industry for well over 40 years, I'd say. And we have a pretty good footprint across the country with independent distributors that we do business with. And we also do a lot of business with some wholesalers. Our philosophy was, in the beginning, we never were big suppliers to Ascendant or R3s of the world, but we really made a push and focus on building our relationships through smaller independent wholesalers. And so your RJ Shinners of the world, Snee Chemical, North Shell Industries, United Paper, Huff Paper. So we really put a focus in independent wholesalers rather than those bigger nationwide. Obviously, RJ Shinner has grown to be a nationwide wholesaler, but we started with them when they were just a couple locations. So we've had a lot of success growing our line and kind of focusing on smaller to mid-tier distributors in size. We are not shy to bring on anyone who wants to buy direct, come on board and buy direct from us. But also we have, like I said, a good support staff across the country of wholesalers to fill any voids that you may see or need in case you can't build up a direct order with us. But the one thing that I'd say separates us from our main competition in the industry for many years has been that our focus on the smaller size distributors and giving them the same type of attention that we do our larger ones. That's been a success to our growth, and that's kind of a playbook that we still stand to and work off of today. And at the same time, the one thing that I will say that we don't pretend that we're not something that we're not. And for example, when it comes to private label, it's never been our game to be in the small volume private label filling. So we're not that company that can do 10, 12, 25, 50 case minimum private labels. Our private label minimum is a little bit larger than what our competitor has in the past done, but they've also changed their business model over the years just because of how expensive it's gotten to run a product online for just a few cases. And by the time you add, labor overhead and the cost of these products on these little runs, we're not even able to give a competitive price really. So our private label program is nothing really set in stone. We usually kind of vet each distributor individually based off their annual volume that they want to buy. And in some cases, we're able to put together some type of a stocking program if it seems like they're able to go through at least 400 to 500 cases more regularly. So again, it's not something that we just kind of put out there and say, hey, 18 case, 20 case private label, we could do it all. We're a little bit more intimate with the customer when it comes to finding out what their need is and their minimums, and if that's a void we can fill for them. But our main focus always has been our flagship Champion Spray-On brand. We also have another brand that's very successful for all of our distributors really who have access to, is called our spray pack line, and that's our bid line. And it's the same formulation grades as our professional Champion line items, except there's some changes in regards to the packaging that we use and how we run those products to achieve better run rates and more efficiency, so we can offer a very competitive bid price to kind of help our current distributors go out and grow their business through school and government bids. The one thing I will mention about our bid program is it's not just open to whoever wants bid pricing. You have to be a stocking Champion distributor or doing business with us in some capacity to have access to the spray pack line. A lot of times we'll receive phone calls, from a guy out of his garage or some little company that just like, hey, we saw this bid and we want to get some pricing on it, and we're not going to do that. We're not going to just quote anyone. So we really focus on taking care of our distributor partners first, and anyone that just comes to us with a bid, they don't have access to that line. There has to be some type of a track record of a partnership before we offer that spray pack line and pricing out. We are active. Chase has been active, and I'm sure many of you have seen in the ISSA show. We've been attending that for over maybe 55 years now, been a longtime member. Kevin and I both attend those shows, and we have been the main two attendees for at least the better part of the last 15 years. Trying to think what else we can add here about Chase that maybe anyone else doesn't know. I kind of covered a lot of our industries that we serve. I'd say we have a good amount of customers that come to us to do business, obviously in the professional side, but they also have avenues of business in like C-stores or maybe more general merchandise wholesaling that maybe falls more in a retailer consumer level than professional. And we've obviously had a lot of growth with our distributor partners who focus in those other industries as well through our, as I mentioned, our own brand, Chase's Home Value line, and Chase's Clean Home line, that are more retail geared or value geared formulations to hit a certain price point. So that's been a success. And as I mentioned before, I'll touch on it one more time. Our paint line is something that's very successful, and a lot of our distributor partners have found that has been very beneficial to them, because most of the customers, especially heavy in school and government municipalities, you don't really see paint much often out on bids, but those places are selling paint, and most likely they're just going to a retail store and buying any field marking paints for soccer team or football, and again, any type of basic enamel paints. Being able to offer that to our customers, they've seen a lot of growth over the years with their current business, just by kind of finding out, hey, does this school you guys use any paint? Where do you buy it at? You just go to Home Depot. We can add it with your orders for, disinfectant and cleaners too. So again, I think to touch on the one thing about us that's very, unique is the breadth and of offering that we can we can give, and we're going to bring to the Triple S team and program. We're not going to hold anything back. We even have distributors who are janitorial distributors who buy snow from us each year for Christmas time. So it can go either way. Our whole portfolio is open to the whole Triple S team. So that, Jason, is about all I have, unless you guys have some questions, or James, I'm sorry, unless you have some questions and I can answer, that'd be great.
Well, I think the point you made about the field paint is good for schools. A lot of our distributors are very strong in schools in the education market. And, it might be something that's overlooked. I think it's definitely worth pointing out that it's a great opportunity for them.
For sure.
Can you tell us about your sales team?
Yes, so to give you guys all background, we're at Chase ourselves, the direct employees, we're very lean. It's Kevin and myself. Kevin's focus, sole focus is our Jansan customer base, but we utilize about 10 or 12 rep groups across the nation. Um, about half of them, I'd say, have been with us for the better part of our careers here, 15 plus years. And more recently, in a lot of territories where we never had any representation, that Kevin or I would just kind of handle ourselves. Um, we've been able to put on some pretty good rep groups that we were comfortable with, and have a good reputation in their territory. So and we'd always, feel free, anyone who wanted to find out who that rep may be in your territory, to reach out directly to Kevin, myself, or Triple S, and we'll be able to kind of funnel that information over to you. But for the most part, we like to run it, Kevin and I. If any customers want, really just want to have that one-on-one with the manufacturer themselves, we're open. We'd love to have them engage and call us, email, whatever we can do to help. It's not necessarily like just go talk to the rep and leave it at that. So that's kind of how we're built, Salesforce wise.
You talk a little bit about your direct program and what it is for distributors.
Yeah. So distributors, minimum order quantity that we accept is 18 cases. We don't ship anything less than that. So we don't ever want to get caught in being a drop shipper in any type of way, but 18 cases is the minimum. We pay the freight on any orders, 72 cases and on, and larger. Again, all of our customers, we don't have a set pricing bracket that we just offer to everyone. It's kind of, let's hear what your volume is and see where your normal buying habits are and how much aerosols you use. And then we're able to kind of structure a pricing program based off our price list that would best fit your needs.
Fair enough. Okay. Yeah, you already talked about government bids, the spray pack line. I think that's a great option because a lot of our members do a lot of municipal work.
Yep.
So, that's a nice one to have in your back pocket when you need to dig down deep. Let me ask you this.
And the one thing I'll add to that is, like I said, I stressed on it before, but we don't just allow anyone to cherry pick that bid line off us. Again, if you want access to it, you have to be a proven supporter and partner on the everyday business. So we don't, when a large bid does go out for our product that's spec'd, it's only our customers that are, supporting our line that have access to get that pricing, because we get a lot of calls, especially when the larger bids get out, from anyone and everyone looking for a price. But no, we only support our current customers, distributors supporting us.
Super. We appreciate that. Can you talk about the program you have with RJ Shinner, the group
Sure.
program?
RJ is, as I mentioned before, we started really being their main aerosol supplier when they just had 2 or 3 locations. And over the years, as they've grown, we've grown with them, and they've been a great help to help service our customers in need quickly who can't make a minimum order, either prepaid or even the 18 case minimum. They do a really good job of stocking the core items, and obviously there's a big breadth of air fresheners and different scents, but they really do. We make it a habit to work with them to kind of give them insight on what's really picking up, what scents are popular. So they're always keeping a pretty good standard, a pretty good stock in all warehouses. I know obviously going through wholesalers is not ideal in some cases, but we try to make it as friendly as possible. That's why our minimums are lower, to support that distributor direct as the manufacturer, but also giving that option. And the one thing I will say too is we have a program with RJ Shinner through Triple S Buying Group where any Triple S member who can't possibly maybe buy direct from us, if they buy our products and support our champion brand through RJ Shinner, RJ will they will each quarter give us a pass-through report that will pass on a percentage on to Triple S to share with those distributors, part of your group, that cannot buy direct from us.
And sometimes there's more advantages to buying through redistribution as well.
Sure.
Yeah, so another great opportunity, to earn rebates And, RJ Shinner is, of course, a triple S supplier. So on top of the rebate you get from Chase, the pass-through rebate, you also get your RJ Shinner rebate. So it's a pretty rich program. If you want to learn more about it, I would ask you to contact your director of business development, and they can fill you in on all the details and the rebates that are involved with that. Yeah, just to wrap up, I guess, let me ask you this question. What sales advice would you give a rep to improve their aerosol business?
Well, put me on the spot here.
A little bit, yeah.
Well, you know what? I'll put it this way: aerosols are not hard to sell. Really, they're not necessarily a focus for a lot of distributors, and that's they're not trash can liners and they're not papers. But they're the one bit of advice I'd give that Kevin and I have preached a long time is there is never an account that you're selling that there's not something in aerosol. There's not something in an aerosol that they can't use. Just flipping through our catalog, it doesn't matter who your customer is and who you're delivering to. There's bound to be something in there that can benefit them in their business. And the other thing I'll say too, a lot of people have mentioned over the years, and it's never come to fruition, but aerosols are dying possibly, or they're not as friendly in the environment and whatnot. That's never been the case, and something we've never seen a decline or can say is true, because the biggest testament to it is just walk down Home Depot's cleaning aisle and just take a look at how many cleaners and products are in an aerosol. They're a great applicator, and they're a great product that you don't have to have really much education or training on to use, or you're wasting.
What would be the good product to help healthcare facilities reduce infections? Do you have one?
We have, well, obviously EPA items are big on our list of offerings, but for the most part, healthcare facilities will gravitate more towards, we have two types of disinfectants. One's a quat base, more like a Lysol. And then we have a phenolic disinfectant, which is basically a disinfectant on steroids, extremely strong. I'd say the majority of our healthcare customers, distributors, professional distributors in the healthcare industry, they gravitate towards those phenolic, or it's actually called our phenol disinfectant spray. It's has a lot better contact time, killing time. Its rate its rate to killing and sanitizing extremely fast and strong. But those would be the go-to. And then obviously in, a bathroom situation in hospital rooms or in assisted living areas, foaming disinfectant cleaner is, one of the key staple items as well with the disinfectant sprays in that hospital type setting or assisted living.
How can I get some information on that product?
No problem. We'll get with James. We'll get your information here, Ray, and Kevin will reach out, or myself, and we'll fill you in on all those SKUs.
Awesome. Looking forward to it. Thank you.
Let me ask another question. What is the one product that's overlooked by Jansan distributors that you say, gosh, I don't understand why they don't buy more of this, or why they're not selling more of this? Is there something that fits that bill at all?
What do you think, Kevin? I mean, paint?
I mean, just like in the household cleaning.
Any category. What's the one like you'd say, gosh, they're missing a huge opportunity here. Why don't they sell this?
Stone.
Yeah,
Kevin, stone.
our stone countertop cleaner is great for natural stone, sealed or unsealed stone surfaces, granite, marble. A lot of places like banks or hotels,
Resorts,
like that, even just kitchens, have all that kind of thing. So that's something that's kind of overlooked by a lot of distributors. It actually won a product of the year at ISSA. I want to say that was going back to like 2012 or something like that now. We've had it for a while, but it's a very great product. My wife, I'm sure Anthony's wife, used it at home. I use it at home. It's a great cleaner, smells amazing, and you don't need to use a lot of it to have it work.
Yeah, it's very unique. It's good for natural stone surfaces, so granite, marble. It's a cleaner, polisher, and a protectant. Really gives a little protective film on there over the natural stone. That's always been a product that's been a favorite. Anytime distributors will call us up, be like, hey, can you send a couple cans to our house? We love how it works on island, or our marble countertops or granite. So definitely a product that I think is something that's usually goes overlooked in the industry.
Yeah, and it's something that you don't really see in like big box stores or retail stores in aerosol form. At least you see a lot of liquid type stone cleaners, but not really in an aerosol.
So what was the name of the, is there a name for the stone cleaner?
It's just
or-
called stone countertop cleaner.
Yeah. Part number 5137.
5137, awesome. All right, I think I got one new message. All right, that was one person who wanted to know that. Awesome. All right, guys, we're gonna let you off the hook.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Well, thank you very much, guys.
No,
You're
thank
welcome.
you all for listening to us. Appreciate it.
And again, anybody out there, if you have any questions, you can lead them directly to Kevin. He's going to be your main contact. Of course, your Triple S Business Development Director is also willing and able to help you with anything moving this line forward. So please don't hesitate to give them a call as well. But again, Anthony and Kevin, thank you for being with us today. Enjoyed getting to know Chase a lot better. And we're looking forward to a great future together. We'll see you at Clean Team.
Thank
got it.
you.
We'll see you soon.
Awesome.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you
meeting you
too.
all.
Have a great
Bye-bye.
day.
Have a great day.
Thanks, fellas.
Bye.